All right, Matt and Jesse here. We're actually on take two of this video. We're solving 3,000 to 3,500 tactics. White to move. What do you think?
I think the last one did not happen.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, the last move we were thinking of was Rook A1, and I'm kind of wondering if Rook A1 is the move here. Because last time we played that move and it was wrong, but here it's the exact same sort of theme. So Rook A1, what happened to the queen? Where does it go? I guess Black's best move? Yeah,
C4.
maybe. Yeah, C4 is made probably good. Then yeah, because if we take, then they can take back with the rook. So I think they're actually safe. Well, yeah, okay. Um, okay, so that's not it. Our rook is hanging, so we could always uh take on c6 first and then figure something else out.
Yeah, I'm looking at rook to b4, just keeping that queen trap idea in mind.
Yeah, and actually, would that trap the queen? Because it can't go up anywhere. Rook a3 and then rook, or queen a3 and then rook a1. And that queen, I believe, is trapped at this point.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't see any craziness where black can sort of counterattack our queen or capture
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I think rook b4 has got to be it then and cut off that whole fourth rank. And then we can trap the queen.
Should I lock it in?
Yeah, lock it in. Okay, win. That's got to be it. Nice.
3,000. We did it.
Easy. One for one.
All right. Next puzzle.
Okay. We have queen d4 check. Only move, I guess they could block.
That's all. Yeah, only move.
Um,
Otherwise, they're getting mated, I guess.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, because queen g7 mate. Queen d4, rook block. Is there anything there?
Rook takes d6 is kind of annoying for black because this rook is still pinned, but it does buy them time to bring the other rook over.
Yeah,
Do you want to know
it
the first
is
move I was looking at?
what
Rook
I know.
g3.
I was thinking that too. Yeah, but I didn't even see that as
Let's
checkmate.
trap the
Yeah,
queen.
yeah, uh, yeah. So that is a problem. They are threatening checkmate. So I wonder if that has to be the move then.
Oh, I just had an idea. Queen d4, rook block. So this rook is pinned. And now what if we played rook to g4? So I was thinking, is there a way we can sort of force this rook to h4, fork their
Uh-huh.
king and queen?
That looks unstoppable. Well, what about King G? No, King G is not real. Yeah, that's probably it, honestly. And then our knight defends f1 very well to avoid checkmate.
Yeah, so the queen can't go to f1 or f3, our knight guards.
Yep.
Um, so really all they can do with their king and queen are stay on the h file.
Yep.
That rook on e5 is pinned. That's a crazy line, but I think that might be it.
Yeah, that quiet rook g4 move. Yeah, that's got to be it. Lock it.
Lock her
Boom.
down.
Let's
Okay,
go.
still check.
Yeah, it's still check. And then there's no checkmate threats or anything.
Oh,
Awesome.
3461.
Too easy.
Too easy. Yeah, we should have done 3,500. Good thing we recorded this video a second time.
All right, two for two. We cannot take that, probably. Unless we can take it and then bishop d6. That doesn't seem quite right.
They're queening, right? Yeah.
Yeah. My first instinct is just to check and pick up the pawn on g6. But then I guess maybe they could take our bishop
So let's say
and then they're queening again.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was any trickery to get back over there, but I don't see it.
Is the puzzle here that they are queening and we just can't avoid it?
Maybe.
Because, well, so I was thinking we take the bishop, then h8 queen, bishop d6 is just too slow.
Oh, oh, queen d8 check.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if they didn't have queen d8 check, that's interesting. If there was a way we could set up a discovery and let them queen, we could use that to win it back.
Yeah. Rook g5 check. King f4, take the pawn. They take our bishop. We can't take the bishop because then they queen.
Or is it going to be something weird where we do that and then slide our rook over to b7 and they can't beat us or something?
It's just a draw.
I feel like that's
Maybe.
losing though. That's got to be losing.
Yeah. Okay, I just had another move to bishop f6 and just play up a rook. They push the g7 pawn, we take. They take, but then we're in that same position. We can play rook g5 check, pick up the bishop, then h8 is a queen again.
Oh, but here's something. So two thoughts in this line.
Okay.
Um, so if we do this, push, take, rook down, push, we could take the pawn. They take
Okay,
back
so we're
with
down
bishop and then play here, and we get a draw.
to,
Like
okay.
like we're not losing that line. But then this is the other thing I was thinking. Here, push. What if we rook check?
Well,
Where do you move the king? F4?
probably f3.
And then the move I wanted was rook takes pawn.
Okay. And then yeah, because then if they take our, yeah, because if they take our rook, then we still have the bishop on those dark squares.
Right. And if
Uh,
they go for the queen, I was going to just throw the rook wherever it checks the king and take the queen next. And it'll be one bishop each, and we're up a pawn over here.
that's probably it.
It's complicated
Let's run.
enough to feel like it could be it.
Yeah. All right. So let's walk through that. So yeah, bishop f6, g7 is the critical move. Rook g5 check, king somewhere. Let's go to, yeah, f3. We take the pawn. They take us back. That's got to be winning.
That one's
Uh,
winning.
and then what was the other one?
If they queen, this is the one I don't know about because then we need to throw in a rook check. They take our rook, we take. So in the end, we have a bishop sitting here and they have a bishop here.
Okay.
And we have two pawns against one over on the queen side. So I don't know if that's quite winning. It
I would guess that's winning.
Well, the problem is that bishop is always able to sacrifice for this pawn. So say we move our king and go push, push. They could maybe take, and then take this guy.
Hmm.
And if we don't do something quickly, then the white king's going to run over and help. So I don't
Yeah.
quite know if that line is winning, but it's interesting.
That's the best I've got. I don't have anything better. The immediate check fails, I think. Is it gonna be something weird like we just give up the rook, like rook e7? I
Probably.
can't it can't possibly be it though.
Oh, wait. Bishop to h8. Different version. I think it's improved. Push, rook check. Because
Oh,
now
and
when
they
they move
can
their
queen.
king, we take and they can't queen, right?
Yes, maybe that's the difference. And then bishop h6 is no good because they can just queen directly. Oh yeah, or just take it. I didn't even see
You're saying
that.
bishop h6 right after we go to h8?
I was thinking bishop h6 for us on this first move, but that's garbage.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think this is it. It's the same thing we looked at, but it's an improved version because they can't sneak that h pawn to queen.
Yeah, I like that.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Oh, ruin a
Okay, we
wrinkle.
didn't get this far.
Yeah. So now we
Attack
go,
the bishop, maybe?
and then if g7,
Capture the bishop. No.
hmm. Well, maybe now rook h5 because then we can sack on g7 and then. Oh, that's a good move. I didn't consider this at all.
Yeah. So what do we need to, what's our job here? We need to prevent what? We need to prevent G7?
Yeah, so in the other line, we were ready to play rook takes g7, and now we're not. Like we had the fork with rook g5 check and rook takes g7.
Yeah. So rook E8, it's G7 is the answer.
Right. And we can hold
Um,
a draw there. Rook e8, g7, sack the bishop. They take, and we can probably always sack on h8.
yeah. It seems like we're playing for a win here, though.
I agree.
So rook H5, G7. I don't think there's anything there.
Well, this line we can take.
Oh, and then we take. Yeah, and then we're still up in exchange.
Yeah, so that should be winning because we do have the
Okay.
extra pawn over here too.
What about King G4? Yeah.
Yeah, this is the line I'm not sure about. Um, I don't know how we win that because if we move our rook along the H file, isn't this king just sort of coming down to help out?
We can't really get in, though.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I
Yeah,
guess
it's
it
pretty
can go all the
slow.
way to G8, but we could probably start to cut it off. And I guess if it ever comes to F7, we check and take the bishop.
Meanwhile, we're going to march our A pawn up the board.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be it.
Rook H5 seems like it's got to be the move because we can't allow G7. And I think that's the only move that really takes care of that problem. Yeah, then we take, he takes back, we take H7, we're on the bishop, and that's a win.
I
Yeah,
feel
then
80 or
rook,
90% sure. 85% we'll say.
yeah,
Lock her in.
lock it. King G4. Oh, okay, so here we just take in H7.
Is there any? No, don't take here because they queen. Is there going
It's
to be
got to
some
be it.
trick?
Here, I mean, what are the moves? The bishop's hanging, that pawn is hanging.
Yeah.
The only thing they can do is take back, and we take H7. Unless it's like King G4 or something.
All right, we got it. We got it.
All right, nice, nice. That was a tricky one. That was a much harder 3700 or 3200 puzzle.
Yeah. Okay, let's try one more.
Okay, so their knight is hanging. Um, Rook E1 looks devastating.
Yeah.
A move that came. A move that comes to mind is rook rook e to f3 check.
Rook. Oh, knight e to f3 check. Yeah,
Or
it's
yeah, sorry,
it's almost mate.
knight. Yeah, they take. They can also take with the pawn, and then rook e8 check.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm doing arrows too quick. I'll let you talk.
Yeah,
Check. Take. Rook e8 check.
yeah, they have to go to what, d1.
They could maybe
Bishop.
block with their bishop too, but
Oh yeah,
let's try king
I
over.
don't know. Bishop. Yeah, and then bishop e2 check. Yeah, yeah. King e1 and then knight f3 is mate.
Okay, good. All right, so then let's look at here. Take, check. Oops. Uh, come on. Hey, hey, hey.
Bishop blocks.
Yeah.
Okay, that is trickier, but we have other knight f3 check again.
Oh,
Uh, does that work? And then king d1. Yeah, king d1. No, that bishop on e2 would not be defended anymore.
we also have bishop to b4 check right after bishop e3, I think. Because at first I thought their king's escaping through d2,
Oh yeah,
but this check looks pretty good. They still can't walk this way because our bishop.
right. Then they would have to block with the bishop. That's their only move.
But it's pinned by our
Oh, so that's
e8 rook.
checkmate.
I think they can go here.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then would bishop e7 e2 be mate? It would.
Yeah, because this one covers all of these.
Yeah, and
I
then the
think
knight
that's it.
covers c2. Yeah, yeah. So start with the e knight.
Is there any reason why the other knight doesn't work? Oh yeah, because we need this knight to guard e2.
Yeah, and take away
This is the hard
uh
move to see, I
c2.
think.
Yeah, because you want to just play another knight check or something.
Right, and bishop e3 looks like white's escaping.
Yeah, and bishop b4 is a really hard move to see there too.
Yeah, that one took me a
Bishop
while to spot.
e2, bishop e2 mate. Dang, that was really fun. That was a good one.
Nice, 3,000. All right, should we call it there?
Let's call it while we're ahead.
Right, we solved every 3,000 puzzle tonight as far as anyone else knows.
Yeah, as far as everyone else knows. Uh, awesome. Thanks for doing this. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. Thanks for watching, everyone.